Welcome to our channel, where the ancient stories. Today, we journey back to an age drowned in disbelief, where one man, Noah, chosen by the Almighty, built an ark of faith before the storm. Stay with us, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more epic stories. Noah and the Great Flood. The earth had grown old with sin. Men walked proudly upon its face, lifting their heads high against the heavens that fed them. They worshipped idols carved by their own hands, stones and wood that could not speak, could not breathe, yet they bowed before them as though they held power over life and death. The valleys were filled with laughter, music, and mockery. The poor were trampled, the weak forgotten. And among the people of that age, only a few hearts still trembled when the wind whispered the name of the Almighty. It was in those days that Noah, son of Lamech, walked through the silent groves beyond the city's edge. His eyes were deep and thoughtful, his spirit restless like a man who hears a sound that others cannot. The sun was sinking, dyeing the world in gold and crimson, when he fell to his knees and prayed, "O Lord of the heavens and the earth, the people have forgotten you. They bow before lies. Their hands fashion idols, and their tongues praise them. Guide me, O Lord, that I may guide them, if you will." And then, from beyond the veil of mortal sound, came the voice, mighty yet merciful, filling the air like thunder wrapped in silk. "Noah, my servant, rise. Indeed, I have chosen you among men. Speak to your people and warn them before a day comes when no warning shall avail. Tell them that there is no God but I, the creator of the heavens and the earth. Tell them that I will forgive whom I will and punish whom I will." Noah fell upon his face, trembling as the earth beneath him seemed to bow too. "My Lord," he whispered, "I am but one man among them. They will mock me and call me mad." And the Lord said, "Be patient, Noah, for patience is my gift to the chosen. Deliver my message, even if your words fall on deaf ears, for I see what they do not see." From that night onward, Noah's heart became a torch burning in darkness. When morning came, he entered the gathering place where the elders and chieftains sat. Their cloaks shimmered with gold thread, their idols glittered beside them, but Noah's eyes held something brighter. He raised his hand and spoke, "O my people, worship none but the one who made you. Will you not fear him who spread the earth beneath your feet and raised the sky above your heads? Do not serve what your hands have carved, for they can neither harm nor help you." The crowd murmured. Some looked uneasy, others laughed outright. One elder, tall and adorned with jewels, sneered, "Noah, son of Lamech, you were once a wise man among us. What madness has seized you that you speak against the gods of your fathers?" Noah answered with calm, though his heart ached for them, "I speak not madness, but truth. These idols you praise are lifeless stones. It is the Lord of the unseen who gives you breath and takes it away. He has sent me to warn you before the storm of his justice falls." Then laughter broke among them like waves. "A storm of justice," one cried. "We see no clouds, old man." "Build us a flood from your words," shouted another, as the hall roared with mockery. Noah bowed his head. "You will see, when truth overtakes mockery." Days turned to months. Months became years. Noah spoke in the markets, under the trees, at dawn and at dusk. He spoke to the rich and the beggars, to women carrying water, to children chasing goats through dust. "O my people," he would cry, "seek forgiveness from your Lord, and he will send the sky upon you with rain. He will strengthen you with wealth and sons, and make for you gardens and rivers." Will you not understand? But each time he spoke, The people turned their faces away. Some put fingers in their ears. Others covered their heads with cloaks when they saw him coming, saying, "Here comes the preacher again. Beware his madness." A group of the poorest, men and women with worn faces, listened to him with tears in their eyes. They found peace in his words and turned their hearts to God. But when they stood beside him, the chief sneered. "Noah, you claim to be chosen by the Lord, yet you are followed by beggars and slaves. If you are truthful, drive them away. We will listen to you then." Noah raised his hand, and his voice shook with both grief and fire. "Shall I drive away those whom God has drawn near? I am not their judge, nor do I claim to know what is in their hearts. O my people, I ask of you no reward. My reward is only from the Lord of all worlds." The nobles turned away, muttering, "He has lost his mind." One evening, when the moon hung low and the fields shimmered under silver light, Noah's wife stood by the doorway, her face shadowed. She looked upon him with eyes once filled with love, but now hardened by years of disbelief. "Noah," she said coldly, "how long will you torment yourself with this madness? The people mock you. Our own kin turn their backs. Even our son, Canaan, laughs when your name is spoken." Noah turned his gaze toward the heavens. "A time will come," he said softly, "when their laughter will be drowned by their own cries." She shook her head, tears glinting in her eyes, but pride ruling her heart. "Then I will stand with my people, for they are the children of this earth. You speak of unseen things." And she left him, her footsteps echoing into the night. Years passed, hundreds of them. Noah grew old, but his voice never faltered. His beard turned white as the snows of Mount Judy, yet his eyes still burned with the light of the first revelation. He prayed each night, his forehead upon the ground. "My Lord, I have called my people night and day, but my calling only drives them farther away. Each time I warn them, they cover their ears. They mock me and grow in pride. My Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And the voice answered again in his heart, "Noah, do not grieve for what they do. The time of patience is written, but it shall pass. One day the truth will rise upon them like a tide, and none will stand against it." And so Noah rose once more, walking through the marketplace beneath the burning sun, his staff tapping the stones. Children pointed, men laughed, women whispered behind veils. But he spoke again, his voice calm, his heart steady as the sea before the storm. "O my people, the earth beneath your feet belongs to the Lord, not to idols. Turn to him before the earth itself turns against you." Yet they laughed and said, "If your Lord is so mighty, let him bring the punishment you promise." Noah's eyes glistened. "It will come," he said, "when you least expect it." That night, lightning split the sky. A wind howled through the valleys, and Noah fell to his knees beneath the ancient fig tree, trembling as the heavens rumbled above him. And the voice came once more, clear, commanding, final. "O Noah, none of your people will believe except those who have already believed. Grieve no longer for what they do. Build the ark before our decree descends upon them." Noah bowed to the earth, his tears falling like rain before the rain had yet begun. "My Lord," he whispered, "guide my hands and strengthen my heart. For your word is truth, and your promise is near." And thus began the second age of his mission, the age of the ark. The years of patience and the building of the ark. The dawn after the command came was heavy with silence. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath, as if the world itself awaited what was to come. Noah stood upon the high ridge beyond the city, gazing down at the valley where his people dwelt, a place once green with gardens, now gray with smoke from their idols' altars. His heart trembled not with fear, but with awe. He knew that an age was ending. The Lord had spoken. Build the ark beneath our watchful eye and according to our inspiration. Speak not to me of the wrongdoers, for they shall be drowned. And so Noah obeyed. He found a plain between the hills, a place dry and far from the sea. There, upon hard earth, he laid the first beams of what would one day carry the future of mankind. Day after day he labored. The sun burned upon his shoulders. His hands bled from the shaping of timber. His followers, few in number, yet steadfast, gathered around him. They were men and women of faith, the poor, the outcast, the humble. They brought wood from the forests, tar from the mountains, and rope twisted from palm fibers. Each strike of the hammer rang through the valley like a prophecy. The people came to watch. At first, they were curious, then amused. From the high ground, the chiefs laughed until tears ran down their faces. Noah once shouted, "Have you lost your mind completely? You build a ship upon dry land. Will your Lord bring the sea to your door?" Another mocked, "Perhaps he means to sail upon the sand, this mad old preacher of doom." And the crowd erupted in cruel laughter. But Noah looked up from his work, his face streaked with sweat and sawdust, and said only, "You mock me now, but a day will come when I shall mock you as you mock me. For soon the storm will rise, and you will not find refuge from the decree of the Almighty." He turned back to his work as though their voices were wind passing through leaves. Years rolled on. The ark grew vast, a wooden mountain, broad as a fortress, its ribs rising like the bones of a giant beast. Children grew into men while Noah still worked, and the laughter of the unbelievers became a tradition passed from father to son. Yet the believers toiled beside him with unwavering faith. Each plank they fixed, each nail they drove, was a prayer. And when weariness overtook them, Noah would raise his voice in remembrance of God, saying, "In the name of the Lord, who teaches the bird to build its nest and the bee to shape its hive, let every beam of this vessel be blessed." And strength returned to their arms. One evening, as the sun bled red over the horizon, Noah's son Canaan approached him. He was young, tall, and strong, but pride burned in his eyes. Behind him stood a group of the noble's sons, smirking as they watched the old prophet bend over his labor. "Father," Canaan said, "why do you waste your life in this madness? The people mock you. Even the children sing songs of your folly. There is no flood, no wrath, no God that will swallow the earth. Why do you shame yourself before man?" Noah turned to him, his heart heavy yet gentle. "My son, I build not for the laughter of men, but for the command of my Lord. A storm is coming, not of wind and rain alone, but of judgment. Come with me, believe, and you shall live." Canaan laughed, though there was a tremor in it. "When I see the waters, I will believe," he said. "Until then, I shall stay with my people." Noah's eyes filled with sorrow. "By the time you see the waters, my son, belief will be too late." Canaan turned and walked away, his figure swallowed by the darkening valley. The days lengthened. Clouds gathered in strange shapes, heavy and low. The air grew thick. The wind tasted of salt, though the sea was far away. Animals began to behave strangely. Birds flew in circles. Beasts looked toward the horizon and lowed uneasily. And in the deep hours of night, Noah would hear the voice again, soft, like the murmur of distant thunder. "The time is near." Then, one morning, the earth trembled. A cry rose from the mountains as rivers swelled beyond their beds. The sky turned iron gray, and a cold wind swept through the land. Noah's followers gathered beside the ark, fear and awe mingling in their eyes. Noah lifted his staff and cried, "Praise be to the Lord, who fulfills his word. Gather the creatures, 2 by 2, as he has commanded, of beasts and birds, of all that walks and crawls and flies." The people ran through the fields, guiding the animals toward the great vessel. The beasts came willingly, as though drawn by unseen hands. The lions walked beside the gazelles, and neither feared the other. Birds settled upon the rafters, their wings glistening in the strange light. And Noah, standing upon the ramp, raised his face to the heavens and said, "My Lord, I have obeyed your command. Into your hands I place those who believe and all whom you will save." Then, from the valley below, came the mocking voices once more. The chieftains had gathered, their cloaks whipping in the rising wind. "Look at him," one cried. "He fills his ship with beasts. Will the wolves row for you, Noah? Will the eagles steer your sails?" Another shouted, "Call your Lord now, old man. Let him open his heavens if he can." And Noah answered, his voice carrying like thunder across the plain, "You have had your days of laughter. Now comes the day of truth." He turned his face away, tears tracing the lines of age upon his cheeks. The first drops of rain fell. Large, heavy, cold, they struck the dust and raised the scent of earth. The people laughed still, shouting, "It is but a passing storm." But the rain did not pass. It grew heavier, relentless, until the laughter faltered. Then came the sound of the earth splitting. Springs burst forth from beneath the ground, boiling and roaring, mingling with the torrents from above. The people screamed and fled toward higher ground. The idols in their temples toppled, washed away like toys in a flood. And the Lord said to Noah, "Embark, you and those who believe, upon the Arkansas. In my name it shall sail, and in my name it shall rest. Indeed, my mercy precedes my wrath." The believers entered, trembling yet steadfast. The beasts followed, and the doors closed, not by Noah's hand, but by the unseen hand of the Almighty. Noah stood at the threshold, his heart breaking as he saw his son Canaan among the fleeing crowds below. "My son," he cried, his voice lost in the roar of the storm, "come aboard with us and be not among the unbelievers." Canaan, standing upon a rising hill, shouted back, "I will take refuge on a mountain that will save me from the water." Noah's eyes filled with tears. There is no refuge today from the decree of God, except for those to whom he shows mercy. Then a wave rose between them, vast as a wall of night, and his son was seen no more. Noah fell to his knees, whispering, "My Lord, my son was of my family." But the voice came, firm yet compassionate, "O Noah, he was not of your family. His work was unrighteous. Do not ask me of what you do not know." Noah bowed his head and wept in silence. And the rain fell without ceasing. The seas met the skies. Mountains vanished beneath the waves. The ark rose, creaking and trembling, but it did not falter. It sailed upon a world drowned in silence and judgment. Inside, Noah prayed, "In the name of the Lord, who carries us through the flood, keep us safe and make us grateful." Lightning tore the heavens. Thunder rolled like drums of divine wrath. Yet within the ark was peace, the peace of those who had surrendered to the will of the Most High. And outside, the voices of the proud were silenced forever. The flood and the voyage. Darkness fell upon the earth like a shroud. The sky, once bright and blue, became a vault of rolling black. The rain poured not as drops, but as torrents, as though the heavens themselves had split open. The ark creaked and groaned, rising and falling upon waves that devoured mountains. Inside, men and beasts clung to its wooden ribs as the world was unmade around them. Noah stood at the window, his white hair plastered to his face, his eyes glistening in the dim lantern light. The cries of the drowned echoed through the roaring wind, cries of men who had once laughed, women who had once scoffed, and children born too late to know truth from pride. He pressed his hand against the rough timber and whispered, "My Lord, you are just. None can withstand your decree." Outside, chaos reigned. Lightning tore across the sky, revealing flashes of the drowned world. Idols half buried in mud, temples shattered, hills swallowed by the rising waters. The believers within the ark trembled, and Noah called out to calm them. "Fear not, the Lord is with us. He who commanded the sea to rise can also command it to be still." The ark heaved upon a cresting wave, lifted toward the heavens, then plunged down into the abyss. Yet it did not break, for every beam and board had been blessed by the command of the Almighty. And the Lord's voice came to Noah's heart once more. "Sail, O Noah, under our eyes and in our care. The flood is not wrath alone, it is renewal." For days and nights without number, the ark drifted. There was no sun, no stars, no sense of direction, only endless water and the endless will of God. Inside, Noah tended to the animals, soothing them with words of remembrance. Lions lay beside lambs in stillness. Serpents coiled near sparrows without harm. It was as if the whole of creation, in that single vessel, had found peace through surrender. He sat beside the believers, the old and the young, the men and women who had endured years of scorn, and said to them, "Be patient, for the dawn of mercy comes after the night of trial. The earth must be washed before it can bloom again." And they nodded, tears in their eyes, whispering praises in the dimness. One night, as thunder rolled like drums of war and waves struck the hull with the force of mountains, Noah went alone to the upper deck. He looked out upon the boundless waters, a world drowned in silence and memory, and his heart broke anew. "My Lord," he said, "you commanded me to build, and I obeyed. You warned them, and they refused. You spared the faithful, and yet my heart mourns for what is lost." The wind carried no answer, but the stars flickered faintly beyond the storm clouds, as though whispering of hope not yet extinguished. Noah bowed his head and prayed again. "O my Lord, you are the most merciful of the merciful. If you will, let this flood become a womb for the earth, that life may rise again." As the days stretched on, the rain began to ease. The thunder softened, the wind grew tired, and a strange calm fell over the endless sea. The believers, weary but alive, emerged from below deck. They looked out upon the horizon, but there was no land, only the shimmering reflection of gray clouds upon an unbroken surface of water. Noah raised his hands. "Praise be to God, who has carried us through the storm. Truly, every hardship bears his wisdom." He released a raven into the air. It soared across the mist, circling wide, and did not return. Then he released a dove. It vanished into the fog, and hours later, it came back with a small leaf clutched in its beak, green and glistening. The people gasped, and Noah smiled for the first time in many days. "Behold," he said, "the mercy of the Most High has touched the earth again." The waters began to withdraw. Rivers found their beds once more. Mountains reappeared like islands rising from sleep. The ark drifted between the peaks, its hull scraping softly against stones newly born from beneath the flood. Then, from above, came the command that filled Noah's heart with peace. O earth, swallow your water. O sky, cease your rain. The matter has been decided. And the clouds broke. The sun returned, bright and golden, glimmering upon a world reborn. The ark came to rest upon the slopes of a great mountain, its summit crowned with snow and mist. Noah stepped out, barefoot upon the damp soil, and wept. "This is the mountain of rest," he said, "for the storm is ended." He fell to his knees and placed his forehead upon the ground. "O Lord, deliver me from all that displeases you, for you are the most merciful. You have granted me refuge when all the world was lost." The believers followed him, descending from the Arkansas. They breathed the air of a cleansed earth, rich, cool, and sweet. The beasts wandered into the valleys. The birds rose in flocks toward the new sun, and silence reigned where once there had been defiance. Noah gathered the survivors around him. Their faces were tired, yet radiant with faith. "Remember this day," he told them, "for it is the day of deliverance. We are not the masters of this world. We are its caretakers. Let no man raise again the idols that led our fathers astray. Worship none but the one who gives life and takes it away." They nodded, their voices rising together in a chorus of praise. When night fell, Noah sat alone beside a small fire near the ark's shadow. The stars were clear now, the same stars that had once watched the rise of sin and now shone upon the birth of purity. He looked up and said softly, "My Lord, you are the beginning and the end. From dust you made us, and to dust you return us. You have tested me beyond measure, yet your mercy has been my strength. Accept my gratitude, and make this earth a dwelling of peace for those who come after." And the Lord spoke to him, a voice gentle as the wind that stirred the ashes. "Peace be upon you, O Noah, among all who are with you. You have endured, and you have been patient. Now descend in peace, for blessings shall flow from you and from those who follow you." Noah wept again, not for sorrow, but for the vastness of mercy he felt within his soul. He looked out upon the valleys below, where new rivers gleamed and the green of life returned. He saw children playing, lambs leaping, and the horizon spreading wide and pure. And he whispered to himself, "The world begins again." The covenant and the last days of Noah. The valley below Mount Judy shimmered in morning light. Mist drifted over the wet grass, and the air was alive with the scent of new earth. The flood had receded, the sky was clear, and the world seemed like a child just born, innocent, unscarred, waiting for the touch of life. Noah stood upon a rock overlooking the plain, his robe fluttering in the breeze. The ark rested behind him, half buried in the soil, a silent monument to divine command and human obedience. He breathed deeply and said, "Praise be to God, who has made the storm a cradle for life, not a tomb." The survivors gathered around him, the men and women who had stood firm through 100 years of scorn and 100 nights of terror. Their faces were lined with awe and gratitude. Children, born after the flood, ran through the grass, chasing doves that had returned to the valleys. Noah lifted his staff and spoke, his voice steady, rich with the gravity of all he had endured. "O my people, we have seen the power of the Almighty with our own eyes. He gave warning to those who mocked, and mercy to those who believed. Let us not forget what was before us, lest pride should rise again from the dust." He turned his eyes toward the sky. The Lord who drowned the world in his justice has now revived it in his mercy, and he has set a sign between us and him, that we may remember. Then a light spread across the heavens, soft at first, like the edge of dawn, then broad and brilliant, stretching from mountain to mountain. The people gasped as colors shimmered across the sky, crimson, gold, blue, and violet woven together like threads of celestial silk. And Noah fell to his knees. "This," he said, his voice trembling with wonder, "is the covenant of the Most High. He has promised that never again shall the earth be drowned for the sins of man. The rainbow is his mercy, the arch of peace after the tempest of wrath." The people knelt beside him, weeping in gratitude. The air was still except for the sound of birds returning to the trees and the soft rush of streams carving their paths through the valley. Years passed. The children of the survivors grew and multiplied, filling the land with life once more. They built homes, planted vineyards, and sang songs that told of the flood and the ark and the steadfast prophet who had walked with God. Noah grew old. His hair, once white, became silver like moonlight. His eyes, though dim with age, still carried the fire of faith that had endured 1,000 years. He lived among his people as a teacher and guide. Whenever disputes arose, they came to him, and he would speak softly, reminding them, "Do not let your hearts harden as those before you did. For disbelief begins not with words, but with forgetfulness. Remember the mercy of your Lord, and you will never fall." And they would bow their heads, for his presence was like shade in the heat of noon. One night, as the stars shone bright and the valley slept in peace, Noah felt a stillness come over him, a silence deeper than any he had known. He knew then that his time had come. He called for his sons and the faithful among his followers, and they gathered around him in the soft light of oil lamps. His voice was weak, but clear as mountain water. "O my sons, the days of your father are ending. I was sent to warn and to deliver, and by God's grace I have done as I was commanded. Now the burden passes to you." He looked from face to face, at Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and smiled faintly. "Hold fast to the truth, even when the world forgets it again. For man is quick to forget, and the devil is patient. Worship none but the one who made you. Be kind upon the earth, for it will bear witness of all that you do. And if pride ever tempts you, look to the mountains that were once beneath the sea." A tear slipped down his cheek, shining in the lamplight. He lifted his trembling hands and prayed, "My Lord, forgive me and my parents, and whoever enters my house as a believer, and all the believing men and women. Let peace dwell among my children as long as the sun rises and sets." And the voice came to his heart, the same voice that had called him from the silence centuries ago. "Peace be upon you, O Noah. You have labored long and faithfully. Now enter into our mercy. You are among the righteous." His breath grew shallow. He gazed one last time at the ark, now covered in moss and wildflowers, and at the valley filled with life. A faint smile touched his lips. Then, like a flame returning to its source, his soul departed, gentle, serene, fulfilled. The people mourned him for 40 days, their cries echoing through the hills. They buried him upon the slope of Mount Judy, facing the east where the sun first touches the world. And when the rains came again, soft, kind, and warm, they said, "The earth weeps for its shepherd." Generations passed. The ark sank deeper into the soil, becoming part of the mountain that had held it. The rainbow still appeared after every storm, silent witness to the promise that the Lord had made through his servant. And though nations would rise and fall, though men would forget and remember again, the story of Noah endured. The story of a man who spoke when all the world mocked him, who built when there was no sea, and who found peace when the world drowned. For his was not a tale of destruction, but of faith, patience, and the endless mercy of God. Peace be upon Noah among all beings. Thus do we reward the righteous. Indeed, he was one of our believing servants, and the wind carried his name through ages and tongues, so that even when mountains crumble and stars fade, the memory of Noah shall remain, the man who endured the storm. And so, as the waters fell silent, the ark came to rest upon the mountain. A new dawn rose, washed clean by mercy, shaped by faith. The story of Noah is not just of a flood. It is the story of patience, warning, and the unshakable promise of God. Thank you for watching this. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the next chapter, as we continue the journey through the timeless stories.